If the Earth suddenly stopped rotating, imagine waking up one day and realizing that the planet beneath your feet is no longer spinning. The sun is frozen in the sky, and time itself seems to lose its meaning. This may sound like science fiction, but in reality it would be one of the most destructive events imaginable, and it would completely transform the Earth within hours. At this very moment, the Earth is rotating at an enormous speed. At the equator, the surface moves at about 1670 kilometers per hour. This constant motion is something we never feel because everything around us moves together. If the rotation stopped instantly, the planet itself would halt, but everything on its surface would continue moving at the same speed. Oceans, atmosphere, buildings, and people would be violently thrown eastward. Supersonic winds would rip across the surface, flattening forests, destroying cities, and turning the air into a deadly force. Massive waves thousands of meters high would crash over continents, wiping out coastlines in minutes. After the initial chaos, the shape of the planet would begin to change. Earth's rotation causes water to bulge around the equator, creating the oceans as we know them. Without rotation, gravity would pull this water toward the poles. Entire oceans would slowly migrate north and south, leaving the equatorial regions dry and cracked. What were once fertile lands would become vast deserts, while the polar regions would be submerged under deep global seas. The geography of Earth would be unrecognizable. The loss of rotation would also erase the normal cycle of day and night. Instead of a 24-hour rhythm, the planet would be divided into two extreme worlds. One side would face the sun continuously, experiencing endless daylight. Temperatures would rise to unbearable levels, turning land into scorched wastelands and boiling shallow seas. On the opposite side, eternal night would dominate. Temperatures would plunge far below freezing, causing the atmosphere to partially freeze and fall as ice, snow, and frost. The difference between these two sides would be so extreme that no complex life could adapt to it. Weather as we know it would cease to exist. Earth's rotation is the reason winds curve, storms form, and rain is distributed across the planet. Without it, air would rush directly from the hot side of the planet to the cold side, creating constant planet-wide hurricanes with no seasons, no balance, and no recovery. One hemisphere would be locked in endless storms, while the other would remain frozen and lifeless. Even more dangerous would be the weakening of Earth's magnetic field. The movement of the planet's molten core, combined with rotation, generates the magnetic shield that protects life from solar and cosmic radiation. If this system failed, harmful radiation would bombard the surface. Satellites would be destroyed, power grids would collapse, and long-term exposure would make the surface deadly for most living organisms. Could humanity survive in this nightmare world? Perhaps for a short time, small groups might find refuge in underground facilities near the narrow twilight zone between eternal day and endless night, using artificial lighting, energy systems, and controlled environments. However, these would only delay the inevitable. Without a stable climate and magnetic protection, Earth would no longer be a safe home. In the end, Earth's rotation is not just a simple spin. It is a fundamental force that shapes the oceans, controls the atmosphere, regulates temperature, and protects life itself. If the Earth ever stopped rotating, it would not just change the world. It would bring life on our planet to a silent and permanent end.